Wake up, and now around the web and around the world, and the Gulf Coast, too.
5:10 this morning, around the web and around the world. And Melissa, I have a confession to make. In order for me to remember how to pronounce your name, Constanzer, mentally, in my head, I say to myself, Melissa Decepta Constanzer, to kind of make a reference to the Decepticons. They are the evil robots.
All right, yeah, like in Transformers, right?
Right. So that's how I remember how to pronounce your name.
So you think of me as the evil Transformer?
No, I don't think of you as a robot at all, Melissa, I assure you. But anyway, discussion on the Transformers 2 weeks ago got a principal, the principal at West Lawn Elementary School, Spencer West Lawn Elementary School. She contacted me, Diane Reynolds contacted me and said that her kids had put together Transformers of their own in the hallways of the school. And here are some examples of that. She sent those to me last night. Here is Optimus Prime.
So what are they built out of?
I believe, just looking at them, it looks like boxes, cardboard, and foil and construction paper. I mean, that's very good size, because the deal with Transformers is they're big, gigantic, transforming robots. So they're always an issue of scale.
That one's in pink. I like that one. There
are a few female Transformers that they have made reference to from time to time. Now, I think this one is an original creation of the schools. They're calling this one Thriller. No, not Thriller. I'm sorry, Electra.
Ooh.
So she is pink, and a couple of girls standing beside Electra. And also another creation of theirs. This is a fellow they're calling Thriller. And I like that. He's mostly silver. He's got a big X on his chest. And they're big. They're about 9 feet, more than 9 feet, 9 to 10 feet tall. So this is a project that they've worked on at the school.
How short the kids are compared to them, it's kind of cute.
I know. You don't really get a sense of perspective until you see the kids in front of them, because it gives you an idea of just how large these creations are. They're 9 feet 3 inches tall, and it is something that they have over there. They're sort of the mascots for Spencer West Lawn Elementary School, and it is a project that they have worked on their time. So we thank you very much for that, Diane Reynolds, principal
great job,
over there.
Guys. Jeez.
It's a lot of work that went into that, clearly. And hopefully, if we get the chance to get some video of that at a later date.
I want to know, like, how kids like that built something 10 foot tall. I have just enough trouble like getting to the top shelf in my kitchen.
Yeah, this requires a lot of ladders and a lot of supervision.
They were like building things, you know, up there.
And on Saturday mornings, we also like to talk about the aftermath of Friday Night Lights, and this is a big one. Can you imagine, Melissa, can you imagine a football team that passes for 782 yards, scores 90 points, still loses? I'll play you the video of this, but we'll keep the audio in the background here. But this is basically what happened last night at a school last year. The Meadville, Pennsylvania high school football team scored 78 points in one game while rushing more than 600 yards and lost to Warren. Now tonight the Bulldogs did that feat one better by being the victor. This comes from Deadspin. They turned the Dubois Beavers into the sad losers into a score of 107 to 90 in regulation time.
Basketball score.
That is a huge basketball score. That is an amazing, amazing bit.
Get the defense together.
That's just what the newscaster said when they were talking about this, was that this was basically a game where there was no defense.
Offense on offense.
This was just run for a score, run for a score, run for a score, consistently.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I mean, I've definitely heard of some of those schools. I know Warren, you mentioned in there, that's actually a really good football school in Pennsylvania. But yeah, it's just, defense.
Gotta have defense.
That's what we're hoping for on college football days.
And another thing that we wanted to touch on today, it is the anniversary of Hurricane Frederick.
Yes, September 12th. So this was kind of considered the night to remember. Here's some video of Hurricane Frederick. Came in as a Category 4 storm. Made landfall along the west end of Dauphin Island. It had storm surges along the Mobile Bay of about 10 feet, and some of the Gulf beaches like Dauphin Island saw storm surges of 15 feet. So we know what that does to Dauphin Island, just completely covers it in water. There you can see just a lot of water, and also really some very powerful winds, because this, as I mentioned, was a Category 4 storm. So big impacts from that storm surge as well as the actual winds. So if we take a look then too, I also built a little bit of a track of where that storm
Let's have a look
went.
at that as well.
So this is it. This is Hurricane Frederick, 1979. So several years ago. Some of our viewers may remember it, but a Category 4 worked its way across parts of the Isle of Hispaniola, then kind of staggered through Cuba, swaying back and forth. It wasn't until it actually got off the tip of Cuba. That's where it really rapidly intensified in this time frame over the warm waters and stayed a very strong hurricane as it came into Alabama and a lot of the Gulf Coast region. We had hurricane warnings that extended from Panama City through most of the Louisiana coastline.